Tell me about that time that you thought you were going to do a duet with Bob Dylan, and you ended up having to carry all the vocals.
Oh, well, I was on tour with Bob on, I think it was 2008. I was in the middle of the bill of the Bob Dylan show, as they were calling the show at that time. Bob and his band, and Amos Lee, who had a hit at the time, and he was opening up. And I went on with just acoustic, played about 40 minutes in the middle of the show. And then one day Bob asked me to come up on the stage at soundcheck and said, I'm trying to think of a way to get you into the act. And it was so weird the way he said it, like we were old vaudevillians, like we're going to do some juggling, like, and he suggested us doing Peace, Love and Understanding, which I then had to remind him I didn't write.
Nick wrote that.
Yeah, Nick Lowe wrote that. So I figured it would be trying the patience of his audience if I walked up in the middle of his show and sang a song associated with me, So in the end, I suggested a couple of very, very rare choices because I figured he's not going to want to do Blowing in the Wind, with me. So and then we settled on this beautiful song, Tears of Rage, and we didn't do it immediately. And then about a week later, he called me up to the stage, and we went out there with a couple of. And he didn't call the band, which was something he hadn't done for a while. So the audience went crazy.
Yeah, you never see him just him and a guitar.
No, and this was the first time. They told me later, like 14 years or something, since he'd stepped up there without a band behind him. So, of course, there's people in his audience that read everything as a sign of some kind of a little unnerving. And we wandered out there and started singing, or I started singing, and he just didn't sing. And it was, really strange. And then he came in the harmony on the chorus, and then the next verse, he sang a bit more. And by the third time round, he came in, and I looked at him, because I've learned from previous experience of singing with him, you never look away. You don't want to look away.
Guess you'll change it up.
It's a very intense thing, I mean, it's really, you know that from everything he's written. And in the moment that I looked at him, I knew he was going to sing, and he sang a line that isn't in the song, or apparently in it. Maybe it was another draft of the lyric.
That's what apparently he has all these other verses that
he's got these other verses, but the line he sang, which I was supposed to answer, didn't rhyme with the line that I knew. So there's like a moment of complete panic. But it's not. This is all happening in slow motion now, like a car crash, And so in the moment that it was obviously only a split second that you had to do this. I somehow resolved it. Well, hit the guitar with such force that he actually cracked up, which is my favorite memory of it, because those people in the audience that were reading into this way too much missed the point that you have to retain some humanity. No matter, he'd written this song. It's a very beautiful, very soulful, intense song. But if you had to carry yourself in this pretentious way in every gesture, it would just drain you of the will to do it at all.
Which is why he does it.
Yeah, you see the wit of the wit and humor that's in so many of the things. It's people are taking it so seriously, they miss a lot of the beauty.